friends, welcome to today's vlog. So I need to get a lot of random things done around the house, and so I figured what better time than to do one of my chores and chats videos where we get some stuff done, we chat, I answer some questions, I just talk about things that are on my mind, topics. Right now I'm trying to finish getting ready really quickly, and okay, first of all, I'm using the Day Cactus Water. It's like, it says it's a 3-in-1 styling cream and taming wand. It definitely can make your hair look a little bit greasy, but it gives that more, like if you're looking for that slicked back look. However, I've always got these. I'm like, can it hold it? But it really does a great job. Like you can see, a lot of people mention they use this when they had like crazy postpartum baby hairs, you know. But yeah, I mean I don't know. I feel like this look, well, now I'm stuck with it because we're in too deep. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to wash my hair right this second. So I'm just going to use a bobby pin here, do a little bun. We'll pretend it's all intentional. So that is my biggest gripe with this. It smells amazing. It does exactly what it says it's going to do, but it definitely gives that little bit of a look. But sometimes it's what you're looking for. I'm just never certain that looks good on me, but I'm just gonna do a little bun back here. Hair is out of the way. Today was not a hair wash day, so we're just gonna work with it. Little baby bun. So I ended up doing like a walk run this morning on the treadmill, but then I came upstairs and looked outside and it was so beautiful, and I was like, I should have done that outside. I think when you come out of the winter, and if you were used to, walking inside or whatever, if you do that, I feel like it takes an adjustment period of like, oh yeah, sometimes right now the weather is nice, whereas there were, many month stretch where it wasn't even an option to run or walk outside. So got to get back in the groove of looking up the weather and deciding like, could I work out or could I walk or run outside? I had a lot of you guys ask if I have tried these two products together. If you saw me trying them in a recent video, I used this on one side, but then did the other on the other over a different SPF. And I don't know what I was thinking. I clearly wasn't thinking. So I'll show you what they look like together. I have done them together now a couple times. One of my absolute favorite lip balms ever. So this is the CL Prime and Protect SPF 30. It is very cold in this house. I need to turn the air off for a little bit. Definitely gives like a moisturized look. I know this is not like a makeup focused video, but for those curious. So what I realized is, especially this formula, I feel like I need to give it time to sink in. So I'm gonna let it sink in for a minute or two before I go in with a skin tint or foundation. Thought I was filming, wasn't filming. I just started applying the CL skin tint. I'm so sorry. So I've got it on this cheek here, and you can see I really like using a brush to do so. I can link my favorite one that I'm using below. The thing people love about this is that it looks like skin, and it does. I mean, it really does. I was gonna say max of medium. I don't even think it gets quite to medium, but it definitely has more coverage than maybe you might think. It definitely breaks apart on my nose after a little while. Honestly, for me at this point, that's just a reminder to reapply something anyway, because I always get sun on my nose, and so I can kind of reapply some sunscreen, reapply some makeup, whatever. But also my nose is just weird. I don't know if I'm alone, and everything wears off on that quickly. I'm still getting over that like cold I had. I feel like I'm blowing my nose a lot, so that obviously doesn't help when I'm testing these kinds of things out. But yeah, it just looks really, really pretty. Like it looks like skin. There's no other way to say it. And I really like it over this SPF. I feel like they work really, really well together. Do you have to get both? No, I don't think so. I think you can use this with whatever, but I do think it looks really nice. If you recall, I used it originally when I was trying it on camera with the ultraviolet SPF. This one's a little bit more mattifying, and I didn't love those together. I do think this pilled up a little bit. I also don't think I waited long enough before applying it. So double whammy. I think it is really pretty. So for those that were curious, that wanted to see these two in action together, there you go. I got a new shade of the Milani Keep It Full Plumping Balm that I was just talking about how I love. This is called Moi, M-O-I, and it's slightly pinker. I feel like the one I have is more kind of peachy nude. This one is really pretty. I feel like this camera darkens things, not darkens, but almost like dulls the color a bit. So perhaps, well, I'll chat with my editors. We'll see if we can get the color right so you can see it. But yeah, I think it's really, really pretty. And you already know I love this formula, so there you go. I have been awake since 6:30 with the girls, and it is now 10:30, and I have not had more than like 4 sips of coffee. I had to dump. That coffee was so old. I'm like, all right, we're gonna do some fresh coffee and enjoy the first few sips outside because it is sunny and beautiful and the birds are chirping. Oh, I was like, what is that noise? I think someone's doing like woodworking nearby. So on the docket for today, I need to get dishes done. I didn't rinse them last night. It was one of those nights we try to do our closing shift where we set the coffee pot for the morning. We maybe make tea if it's that time of night. We do the dishes, get the leftovers away, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Get set up for the next day. Well, we were too tired last night, so we didn't do it. And I hate when we do that to ourselves because guess what? You have to deal with it the next day. So all of the dishes are like dried on, crusted on. I'm like, man. So I'm going to get that done. I have some groceries I want to share with you guys. And then I need to get some laundry done. It's all the classic things, but I figured we'd chat and hang out while we do it. It makes it a little bit more fun for me. I don't know if it's fun for you, but here we are. I have seen first of all, so many birds. It makes me so happy. But I've seen this bluebird so much. Tyler has seen it a bunch too. And in all the years we've lived here maybe 7 years, I've never seen a bird that's actually blue. I've seen plenty of bright red cardinals. I love seeing cardinals, and I've seen I've seen yellow birds, little finches, but I've never seen an actual blue bird, and it is such a bright blue. It is like jarring almost to see. It is so beautiful. Anyway, so then of course I'm looking up what does it mean? Who knows? It has like 4 meanings, but anyway. Yeah, but it brings me so much joy to see it. So I'm kind of like keeping my eyes peeled for it. Oh, yes, baby, yes. We also, our little weeping willow here, it's looking a little sad. We got a quote for how much it would cost for someone to come out and remove that huge dead branch there in the middle. Y'all, thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. I mean, worst case scenario, it will fall into the water. It's leaning way that way. So I'm not worried about that kind of thing. It's more that, you know, if it were gone, the nutrients then could all go towards the rest of the tree, right? Like in theory. So we're not going to do that right now. That's it's just exorbitant. But they did recommend some, like a specific kind of fertilizer we can put around the tree a couple times a year to kind of help the health of the tree. So I love this weeping willow. It was one of the selling points for me when we first bought this house, and it's just, I love willows so much. So we're going to keep this sweet baby alive. There's just that dead branch. I think it's been dead for a long time. We just didn't really notice it until the past few years. So first thing I wanted to show you guys a grocery haul. This part of the video is kindly sponsored by Thrive Market. I was needing some staples for some dinners I have planned in the next couple of weeks, some smoothie ingredients, coffee, always, and some sweets and things for the kids. So Thrive Market we love because we always save a ton of money. On this order I'm about to show you alone, I saved like $55. Like, it's insane. And these are high quality organic ingredients, non-GMO if that's what you're looking for. You can find so many vegan, gluten-free, paleo, vegetarian options. It's truly amazing. And I feel like so many of the swaps we've made for healthier snacks, the kids actually love and actually eat, and I'm happy about the ingredients in them. So we'll start strong with some of the stuff for the kids. I got different flavors of these brain squeezers. They love these. I love that they've got choline in them, vitamin C, omega-3s. I will eat these as a quick snack as well. Like they're just really, really good. It's fruit and veggies blended. So it's got like apple, banana, carrot, apple, strawberry, spinach. This is great if you have a kid that doesn't eat vegetables or doesn't eat fruit. This is a way to get both of them in their diet. Okay, I had a sweet tooth while I was adding things to the cart, and Tyler did too. Tyler added more of these. These are the skinny dipped. The ones I showed last time, the lemon bliss. When I tell you we ate through this bag in like a matter of a couple of days, it's so good. So they're actual almonds, and then they're dipped in the different flavor that it is. So we also got the super dark and sea salt almonds. Very excited about those. And then one of my faves, it's one of my staples, the Siete grain-free cookies. These are the Mexican wedding ones. So good. One serving size is 5 cookies. They're so good. So we also got, I've not tried this flavor. I might try them right now. The Simple Mills Farmhouse Cheddar. I've tried the plain kind of these, and they're really good, but I always want them with something like cheese or with something else like a dip. But these are flavored on their own. Yum. Those are pretty good. The cheese flavor is not overwhelming, which is what I would expect from Simple Mills, that they wouldn't be overwhelming, but it's definitely there, and I feel like I like these, the taste of these, better than just the original. So very good, understated cheddar flavor. The aftertaste is really good though, it makes you want more. One thing I love about Simple Mills is they use incredibly simple ingredients, and so you can see everything that's in these crackers there, which is so cool. And I can pronounce all of it, and I think in theory, I could find all of it in my kitchen. You know what I mean? For some dinners coming up, I got the Siete Carnitas seasoning. I want to make some kind of carnitas. Yeah, in a slow cooker, you would add whatever filling you want. So whatever meat or whatever you choose, and then add this in. So I just feel like carnitas tacos sounds so good. I also grabbed some 90-second rice. We love the Tasty Bite brand, the organic. This is the basmati rice. Oh, another snack, the cauliflower sea salt stalks. The entire family loves these. We go through these so quickly when we have them, and we haven't had these in a while. I'm always getting coffee. It is the best deal on coffee you can find, especially if you're looking for organic. So we get their big bag of the French roast whole bean. And then we've been cutting it with some decaf beans in there. So I got the Kicking Horse Coffee decaf. So it's a smaller bag. I feel like we're gonna fly through this, but I'm curious to try it because I've never tried this kind. And decaf whole bean coffee is very hard to find, like impossible to find. Also grabbed some more of the PB2. I will put this in my smoothies. Love this. You can also make a peanut butter out of it, and it's way less fat, etc. So what I did with this, because it's usually a little bit more of a drizzly consistency, I will cut up apples really, really small and then drizzle this peanut butter on top and then put a couple of mini chocolate chips. So good. And then I, of course, picked up another pack of the Kin Euphorics non-alcoholic drink. It's a functional beverage. We love the Kin Bloom. It's definitely our favorite. And we are always needing olive oil spray. So I love this one from Thrive Market. We've been members of Thrive Market since 2020, and I pay for my own membership every single year. And I have found that not only am I saving money, but it's so easy. It just comes right to your door. You don't have to think about it. We can stock up on some of our favorites, some of those harder to find things. They have a huge selection. And I love that on orders over $49, you're not paying for shipping. It's free shipping. So that alone is huge. You can save so much money. So if you want to check out Thrive Market for yourself, you can go to thrivemarket.com/JessicaBraun. That'll get you 30% off your first order, which is a huge chunk. And you get a free gift with that. I will put the link and everything you need to know in the description box and a pinned comment for you if you need it. And thank you again to Thrive Market for sponsoring this video. And I do want to try the dark chocolate sea salt, because I know you saw me try these in a recent video. The lemon ones, if you like lemon desserts, oh my gosh, that's what they look like. If you were a dark chocolate lover, these are perfect. They're sweet, but not overly sweet. Oh my gosh. If you've never tried these, you've got to try them. It's dishes time. My biggest pet peeve is when there are dishes. So our dish, I'm now seeing there's even more than I thought. My biggest pet peeve is when there are dishes in the main like rinsing sink part. Do you know what I mean? Because then I can barely like get these clean enough to get them out of here. Like that will drive me crazy. And guess what? There's dishes in the sink. Yo, I can't even lie to you. I just spent 10 minutes getting a decent amount of these done because I was like, I can't multitask. And every time I try like in a video like this, it's so difficult for me. Like, does anyone else struggle with that? So I got some of the like bigger things done. Now I still have some bigger. We actually had French onion soup last night and Tyler used these little amazing, it was so good. It was so good. So anyway, washing these little crocs for them. It's the only thing we use them for. I'm like, we should use these more often because we don't make French onion soup a ton just because it's a lot of work. And he made it like the right way, like from scratch. It was so good, you guys. Anyway, so Simar asked, do you ever think about a life without kids, where you would be or what you'd be doing? What an interesting question. I mean, there's certainly times we were with some friends recently, we were all talking about, because they also have 2 kids, and we were all talking about like, remember how free you are without kids? And it was more like in a reminiscent, like, oh, that was such fun times, but also like you wouldn't change anything. Like I wouldn't, you know what I mean? And so sometimes I think about alternate routes in your life that you could have followed. And, you know, who's to say what kind of person I would be, good or bad, without kids, or if I only had the one, but I really think things work out. Like I'm a Christian, as I've said, and I believe that God works all things for good. And with that knowledge, I know that, you know, bad things that happen in my life will work out for good. It might take years for me to see, but I do believe that to my core. And so knowing that, like, I wouldn't change anything. But I do wonder, like, what would I have been like if I didn't have kids? I think about what I was like before kids, and I am such a different person. And some of you guys that have maybe followed me all along, you can see that. But sometimes I don't know if that's because I had kids or if it was just, I've just been growing up. I mean, we all mature over the course of, it's been 7 years. Over the course of 7 years, we all grow and mature a lot, especially when we're talking about our 20s into our 30s, you know? So I sometimes think it's really just that, but I do think that having kids is such a huge responsibility that your perspective on things changes, and your view of yourself and what your role is in life completely changes. So I don't know. It's such an interesting thought to think about, like, do you ever think about what would my life be like without kids? But I don't dwell on that often because I wouldn't change anything. So this got cleaned yesterday and it is not looking clean. We're gonna do that again. I also got a lot of questions about upcoming travel, like if we have any plans. We do have some tentative plans this summer, perhaps a European Disney cruise with the girls. That is on the books in theory, assuming nothing happens or changes. That's going to happen. And that's the one I am so unbelievably excited about. Yes, we'll vlog it. But that's more towards later. And then Tyler and I are doing a trip, just the 2 of us, for a couple of nights here very soon. And I'm so looking forward to that time with just him, because it's just hard. It's hard to have one-on-one time when it comes to, like, you know, actually talking. Like, Tyler and I will see each other a decent amount because we will work together at the workspace and working from home, and we have flexible schedules, obviously, but that doesn't mean that we're getting the time to spend quality time together, other than like the hour after dinner before bedtime. You know what I mean? Like that little tiny window. So we are very much looking forward to it. It's going to be so much fun. Sheila asked, do you use red light therapy masks? If so, which one, and does it help? So I don't, but I am so curious about them. Are you guys, like, do you use one? Do you have one you love? I have looked into them a couple of times, but every time I kind of get overwhelmed with options and all the information, and I'm like, I don't know which one to pick, so then I just don't. So let me know if you have strong feelings one way or the other about a certain one, or if you find like you're seeing results. What kinds of results are you seeing? Let me know in a comment, because, you know, it is kind of a time commitment. I know some people say that getting like a panel is even better, but I don't know. You know, I don't know. So yeah, let me know. I definitely have curiosity regarding red light and red light therapy masks, but I've never actually like bit the bullet and done it. A Walker Taco asked, how are your workouts going? So inspiring. Hoping I can get back into morning workouts soon. Yeah, so with our older kid in school, we are forced to get up earlier, which has been great. And I say that because we have flexible schedules, we could in theory get up at 8 most days, but with her needing to get on the bus, it's a much earlier morning. So we both realized, you know what, that's an untapped area of time in our day to get a workout in, because otherwise we were both trying to do it at the end of the day when school's over, and we're both like trading off, and then it's like less time with the kids altogether, less time for prepping dinner and doing, you know, yard work or all those other things that you want to do during the day. And so we both started working out Monday through Friday in the mornings before the kids get up. It has been amazing. I've been really proud of myself because I have never, ever been the type of person that can do that can commit to something for a long period of time that would involve being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? You're tired, you're waking up early, you're working out at that time. Like, those are all things that are very undesirable to me. But I think once it has become this habit of mine, it's made it that much easier, and I feel weird and off now when I don't do it. And it's not to say that Monday through Friday I'm getting these amazing, like, long workouts in and I'm running super hard. No, a lot of times it's just kind of listening to my body and doing what I know would feel good that day and trading off between like cardio things and strength training-ish things. But yeah, I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so proud of Tyler, and we both are feeling so much better and energized and all of the things. And we're not having to stress about doing it later in the day when we're done working and we want to just be with the kids together, you know, go on a walk, go to the park, that kind of thing. So yeah, the morning workouts are going really well. Lately I've been doing like a walk run. I use the Peloton app, which is a paid app, but I absolutely love it. I do pretty much all my workouts on there, and they have walk runs. They have like 20-minute ones, 30-minute ones, 45. So I've been doing 30-minute ones, and I've been loving it because it's literally intervals of like 3 minutes of walking, 3 minutes of running, and you just go back and forth, or it'll be one song walking, one song running. And I've just found that works so well for me right now, and I enjoy it, I don't dread it, and it just feels good. Sometimes I have a lot of energy and I do full-blown runs and stuff like that, so I have splashed myself. Like, this shirt is absolutely drenched at this point. We had to get our faucet broke a month or 2 ago. So we got a new one that pretty much looks the same, so it still matches, but it has a really strong like sprayer, which is amazing, but it is definitely splashtastic, you know? So I have a question for you guys. I have been toying with trying out the Aura ring. I even bought, Tyler and I both were interested in it, so we bought there's like a sizing kit on Amazon, and if you buy it, it's like, I wanna say $10. I can link the exact one. You end up getting a $10 credit towards your Aura ring, something like that. So you're not really out any money, I guess, if you end up buying it. So we bought it, and so I kind of wore they have all the different sizes, and I wore it for a day or two, found the size that works best, fits on like 2 of my fingers, which is great. I can't decide. Okay, first of all, the reasons I want to try it, if you don't know what it is, I know a lot of you guys do, it kind of looks like this, actually. This is just a cheapy ring I've had for a while. I just like, but it looks a lot like one, right? But the Aura ring's a little bit thicker. The reason I want it is because, quite honestly, I'm tired of wearing my watch. I wear it all the time. I don't like the way it looks, and I've jazzed it up with like different things, but I don't like the way it looks most of the time with like cute outfits or if I'm dressed up. And I don't want to be able to be contacted all the time. And yes, I can set up different notifications so I'm not notified, but I think the real reason I'm typically wearing this is because I want it to track my steps and all of those kinds of things. The reason Tyler's interested in it is because he is wanting to track his sleep and have a better idea of what his sleep is looking like. But you have to wear a watch overnight, and he just doesn't like to do it. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, I wouldn't like that either. Whereas the ring, you can just leave on and it's not as noticeable. So anyway, there's multiple reasons we want to try it. So we decided one of us is going to be the guinea pig and try it instead of both of us buying it. So he was like, why don't you try it first? So I'm thinking about it. I might do it. But yeah, that sizing kit was clutch because you don't want to get the wrong size and just be like screwed, you know? Anyway, so if you have the Aura ring or any of the similar ones, let me know your thoughts. Do you like it? Do you feel like it's pretty accurate? Especially if you're someone that's like compared it to your Apple Watch or your Garmin or something, to that to see like, are they pretty similar when it comes to how many steps you're getting? That's probably what I'll do the first week I have it, is wear both. And then at the end of the night, kind of compare and be like, okay, are these pretty close to each other? Because I feel like the Apple Watch is pretty accurate. We're gonna clean this stovetop. Needs some love. But the other thing I'm torn about is what color, because my instinct here, let me get a little bit better lighting. There we go. My instinct was to get gold, because I wear mostly gold, but I've been into silver lately. But I'm like, do I really commit to silver just like that? Like, I don't think I do. But then they have like a rose gold. So I'm like, that would kind of be the best of both worlds. So then I can kind of mix and match. I'm always wearing silver because my wedding ring is silver. So I'm always mixing and matching in theory anytime I'm wearing gold. So I don't know. I'm thinking gold because I do really like this gold ring. It also makes me think of my mom's wedding ring is a plain gold band, and so is my dad's. So it kind of gives me those vibes too in the best way. So we'll see what I end up doing, but trust me, I will vlog the process and let you know how I'm liking it, if that is something you've been thinking about or eyeing, you know. By the way, one of the cleaners I've been using is the Aunt Fanny's. It's really good. It's super natural, clean, whatever, but it really does have that strong vinegar smell that honestly, it just, even the kids will walk in and be like, oh my gosh, what does that smell? I'm like, yeah, it's pretty strong. So I'm wanting to find a better, kind of more non-toxic cleaner for multi-surface that doesn't have quite that kind of a strong vinegar smell. So let me know if you have any suggestions of that. Sometimes though, like for the stove, you gotta go in with a degreaser. This stuff works so well. Yuck. We are getting somewhere. These are the kinds of things I can multitask. Trying to talk while doing dishes is an impossible dream. This is such a great question. Shan asked, what's something about being a YouTuber that people don't see or often misunderstand? The biggest thing, and I have to remind myself of this too, when I'm watching someone and either I love them for a certain reason or I'm annoyed with them for a certain reason, and we all have, you know, come on, we're all human and no one's perfect. I have to remind myself that you are only seeing a very small snippet of their lives. And while that's like, duh, yeah, we all know, but really, I remember getting comments back in the day, and it doesn't bother me anymore. A lot of things roll down my back nowadays, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I've been doing this so long, if it's because I've just realized, like, you know what? We don't all like the same people, and it just is what it is. Like, it's okay. I would get comments like, you know, you never spend time with your kids, or when do you XYZ? And I realized that in a 20-minute video, especially if it was like a vlog, like to them, that's the whole day or that's the whole week or whatever. And at no point did I show my kids, because I don't show my kids on camera. But when you actually break down how much 20 or even a 30-minute vlog is over the course of, you know, even 3 days, even a day, 30 minutes of a day is such a short amount of time that we all easily forget that like the passage of time is occurring behind the scenes in between vlog clips. And that's what you don't see. And if the person making the videos is being intentional about not showing a certain thing, then it's gonna appear as though that person is never with their kids or never with their husband or never home or never, you know, whatever it is. Does that make any sense? I don't know, maybe that doesn't make any sense. I feel like I'm not doing my best at explaining that, but it's just kind of one of those things. But I feel like the opposite can be true too, where, you know, if I'm intentional about making sure the background behind me is clean when I'm filming, you assume then that, well, that person's house is always clean. And for years I would always make sure the background was clean. Now, it depends on what I'm filming. Like sometimes I want the background to be clean, you know, if it's this proper sit down video or just a portion, or if it's already pretty clean, then I might just finish straightening it up. But I realize that that does give the perception to the viewer that their space is always absolutely spick and span, and it's just not true. It is not true at all. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I feel like those are kind of like little dumb things, but it's something that is definitely something I've realized over the past 12 years of doing this that I don't think people really register. Yeah, I wish you guys could smell the vinegar. If you don't mind vinegar, I think it's a great cleaner. I think it does a great job. I gotta get out of this kitchen. I know I've been in here for like ever. Finish this last little bit of this up. Okay, I wanna know from you guys, are you someone that lets things just sit and air dry? Or are you someone that dries them right away? Tyler is a dry it right away. Like he'll set it out while he's cleaning everything, but then he'll get it dry so that it all looks clean. But I'm someone that I'm like, why would I waste my energy drying it when I can just let it dry over the course of a few hours and then put it away? I'm curious, which team are you on? You guys are sitting on top of our little play kitchen. It's not usually in this area, in this room. It's actually usually in the basement, but we honestly kind of hit a point where we were like, when the weather's nice, we're not in the basement as much. Like, we go down there often, but not at the same rate as we would like in the winter when it's cold and we just like play down there because you can't play outside. It's just like somewhere fresh to be. But sorry, I'm out of breath. I just ran upstairs and then back down really fast with this because the lighting is nice in here. I love sitting in this room. Anyway, we ended up bringing it up here just to give it a little more love. Like, I feel like we were like, maybe if it's up here, they'll play with it more. So we're testing that out. So far, that has not been the case, which is funny because one of my favorite things to do as a kid was playing with a little play kitchen, and neither of the girls, no matter how I'm like, come on, let's do restaurant, or come on, let's cook dinner together, you know, like what, they're just not interested. Honestly, they both like to actually cook, and maybe that's part of it is we do that with them, and I don't know. Azul asked, how do you have the motivation every day? I don't. I'm sorry that I even give that impression. Again, reminding you that you're only seeing bits of my day when I'm choosing to film, when I'm picking up the camera. I don't have the energy every day. If you missed my upload a few weeks ago, I shared about being in a funk, and I shared basically in real time how I get out of a funk. I gave practical ways, like things you can actually do to help, that help me, and you see me do them. So definitely check that video out if you are feeling like you're just lacking in motivation, or you're just in a slump and you need something to help claw your way out. Check that video out because I was really proud of that one. And I think that'll give you a little insight into the fact that I also do not always have motivation. Also, I'm still loving these, by the way, the slippers. I just took them off and I set them here. These are those like hard bottom slippers I showed that have actual arch support in them. Like, it is firm. So they're not going to be wildly squishy, but they are really supportive. They're not like Hoka's where they've got like that like cozy. They're more like Brooks running shoes. Like, they're more structured, but sometimes it's what you need. And so I have my like regular slippers, but then I also have these because I think when I'm on my feet a lot on the hard floor, this is the kind of support I need, and they were on Amazon. That's all. I'll link them below. I was so surprised by how much I love them. But like I said, they're not gonna be super squishy. They're just supportive. Danielle on the Daily asked, how would you prep your marriage for kids? Define clear roles. I think that someone said that to me recently about, it wasn't even about that. It was about something different, but I was like, that is so true. If you know, like, okay, before this baby is even here, we know it's going to be hard. We know we're going to be tired and all of the stuff that comes with that. But if you define the roles of like, I will try to always be the one that does this, but I need you to be the one that does this, or, you know, kind of figuring out what that really looks like. And obviously it's not going to be black and white, and no 2 days are going to look the same, but having an idea, because I think a lot of times issues arise when you've got a baby in the house where you expected your partner to do a certain thing, but you've never really directly voiced that. And so then you start to resent and get mad that they're not doing it when they maybe didn't even know that was some expectation you had in your mind anyway. So really being clear, and you might be able to do some of that role setting before the baby, but a lot of things will pop up after, and having the time to be like, hey, can we talk about this system we've got going on? Because it's really, I think we need to tweak it. Like, you know what I mean? And just being open about it, because this is new, especially if it's the first time, this is new to both of you, and you're both going through it, not just one of you. And so really, really, really being communicative about what is actually going on. That was a small load of towels. That was easy. If only all the loads were that easy. The bane of my existence right now is the kids' clothes. There's so many tiny pieces. So Mina asked, how are you addressing high phone and social media usage and addiction? Tyler and I had this moment the other day, and it was really bizarre because we both had it like within the same week. And I don't know, okay, there's so much to tell you here. Okay, so strap in. I had this moment where I was like, I have this overwhelming longing to live as though it were the 90s. And I don't mean the style or the music or whatever. And obviously that's when I grew up. So I have nostalgic memories of my childhood. But especially when you have kids and you're like looking at how you're raising them and what the world is just different. We know that. The world is certainly different now. Tyler has brought up numerous times. He's like, you know, we've been watching Full House. And if you remember that show, I mean, we loved the Fuller House reboot, which is just fun. But the original Full House, we started from the beginning. Gigi's been watching it with us, and she's loving it, which is just so fun. Tyler, he's like, these are full-fledged adults that are living full lives without ever having the internet, cell phones, etc. And there's something so powerful about that for thousands of years, all of these other humans, full-fledged adults, as Tyler says, full-fledged people have lived without the internet and cell phones and all of the things. And obviously this is my job. It's part of his job. And I love watching YouTube, and so it's not to say that I'm not going to be using social media and watching it, but really looking at, and I know I've touched on this recently because it's just been top of mind for one reason or another for me, but really looking at when am I using my phone and why am I using it? So like during the workday, if I'm posting on Instagram or whatever, there you go. Earlier this morning, I found myself like scrolling, and it was because I didn't want to get started on the dishes. And I took a second after like 3 minutes of scrolling and looking at nonsense that I realized, why am I on my phone right now? How did I get here? And also, why am I on here? Like, what is it that I'm avoiding? And it was that. So I think a lot of times, like, I'll sit and think, what would people I'm just going to use the 90s for the purposes of this. Okay. What would people in the 90s do if they're procrastinating? I'm not sure, but it would certainly be something more productive than scrolling on my phone and looking at mindless content. So what I've done is, and you know what? It has brought me so much joy, and I feel like mentally I feel clearer too. In the evening, after we're done with work or whatever the day entailed, I would say the afternoon. So by like 2:30 p.m., I'll put my phone away, either up on my nightstand on the charger or down here on a charger, but it's out of my sight. And there it stays. And then maybe usually before bed or maybe right after dinner, I might check to make sure, like, did my mom call or like something that might be important. And that just gives me that peace of mind. It's just the way we're all wired now, you know. But beyond that, I have felt that tug, that pull to check it at random times. And I'm asking myself, because again, I don't even have it in the room, like, why is it that I'm wanting to look at it right now? And what could I do instead? Guess what, guys? I have found time to plant my strawberry plants. I have found time to organize something I've needed to organize. I have found time to play with my kids more. I have found time to actually read my like paper copy of a book, because in the evening I'm usually on my Kindle. Like, it's just incredible. So one thing I've done is brought my book around with me. So the past few nights, for example, once the kids are in bed, if Tyler and I are watching a show or something, if he gets up to go do something or whatever, and we're pausing the show for 5 minutes, that's when I would usually grab my phone and scroll. So instead, my phone's not even with me. I'll just pick up my book and read a couple pages. Or I'll just sit and think. Like, God forbid we sit in silence and just think or pray or meditate or whatever that looks like for you. So anyway, it's been really powerful, and it's really showed me, like, it's not that drive isn't still there, that pull. And it's not that I'm completely not allowing myself to enjoy social media and do those things that I do enjoy. And some of it really does bring value to my life, but really trying to be conscious of it. And that simple action of putting it away for a matter of hours out of sight has been incredibly powerful. So I hope you'll try it. I really do hope you'll try it and just see. But yeah, thanks to Full House for getting us in this 90s mindset. I hope I explained that well. Anyway, I think that I will end this video here. I have so enjoyed chatting with you guys and getting a couple things done around the house. I'm feeling good. I now need this other half of the day to get some work done and make a video live for you guys, things like that. So I hope that you have enjoyed this Chores and Chats. If you want to check out my Chores and Chats series, I will link the playlist below, see if you missed any in there. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Thank you so much to Thrive Market for sponsoring this video. Again, if you want to get 30% off your first order and a free gift, you can go to thrivemarket.com/jessicabraun. I'll put that link down below for you. I hope you guys will subscribe, check out some of my other vlogs and videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, friends.